The next speaker is Joanna Evans from the Northwest Protection Advocacy. Ms. Evans.
Thank you. I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the country we are gathered on here today. I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Thank you to the Commission for this opportunity to present my evidence on behalf of NWPA. We are a member of the Northwest Alliance Umbrella Group. My name is Joanna Evans. I'm from Kyogle and I have been searching for the truth about gas fields since 2012 when I observed a gas drilling operation 10 kilometres from my home. NWPA is a grassroots volunteer-based group. We strongly object to the Narrabri gas project and indeed coal seam gas anywhere. My search for the truth led me to the Queensland gas fields where I spent many weeks looking at the industry both on the ground through company documentation, reading through numerous scientific documents and reports, and speaking to impacted gas field residents who have lived through the experience of becoming collateral damage. What I have seen can be likened to an invasion, a slow, creeping, insidious takeover of land, air and water. The proponents' attempt to justify the project are based on misrepresentation and a cherry-picking approach to data and facts. Our submission will contain detailed examinations of gas composition, water baseline monitoring, health and other issues. During our search for the truth in Narrabri, we have witnessed and experienced an alarming and worrying series of events that are unrelated except by their common themes, which are bullying and intimidation. I personally have been witness to events such as a Santos contractor throwing eggs at peaceful community members. He was charged with assault. A Santos drone flown into our proximity, seemingly breaking CASA laws. I've seen Santos employees rough up peaceful protectors whilst they were exercising their lawful right to protest. I've seen numerous occasions of police misbehaviour. I've been followed off-site into the bush by Santos security, filmed at close range and had a tracking device placed on my car, which was reported to police. I am a member of the CWA. In 2019, I attempted to go on the Santos tour. I travelled to Narrabri to attend. Santos wrongfully accused me and another member of being charged with trespass and would not allow us on the bus. Last week, the Financial Times reported rival groups have divided the community with boycotts of some social and sporting clubs that accepted funding from Santos. The facts are diametrically opposed in that some clubs in Narrabri have turned down bookings from the Gasfield Free movement under pressure from Santos. One cancelled a movie screening, claiming it had overlooked a prior booking. This was proven false when investigated. And with just 2 days' notice, another cancelled a long-standing booking for a Northwest Alliance conference addressing concerns regarding the risks and damage from unconventional gas mining in the Pilliga. Santos, who rang the club, threatened to refuse its sponsorship money if the meeting was allowed to proceed. Last Friday, a page we manage on Facebook that discusses the gas debate with 6,000 followers was coincidentally restricted for the week of the IPC hearings with no explanation and no apparent breach of Facebook policy, suppression of the truth. In regards to Santos being responsive to questioning about their operations, we have tried on numerous occasions to gather information. In nearly every instance, we've had to resort to GIPA request, and still dozens of questions, some nearly 12 months old, are unanswered through the malfunctioning Community Consultative Committee, withholding the truth. In New South Wales, we are faced with a situation whereby the company Santos and the government refer to the Queensland experience as being a positive one. When something is negative and bears further investigation, government agencies in New South Wales, like the EPA, say that's Queensland, that won't happen in New South Wales. From our experience, though, Santos will operate in much the same way. In respect to Queensland, we would like to highlight the New South Wales Planning and Assessment Commission Department's trip to Queensland that occurred in June 2017. They went to get a better understanding of CSG operations and were escorted by Santos around several sites on a private briefing and familiarisation tour. This information was only revealed by GIPA. The truth is hidden. Obviously then, if this is where New South Wales Planning was seeking understanding of the industry, it must be noted that what happens in Queensland does apply here in New South Wales. Why would New South Wales Planning bother going to Queensland if it did not apply here? The truth about gas fields does lie with the Queensland experience. We ask the Commission to look into the issue of microbiologically induced corrosion. It is an issue that impacts directly on well casing, which purportedly is meant to protect aquifers from contamination. Santos claim state-of-the-art technology and a robust multi-barrier and tested system that will ensure isolation between the well and the surrounding environment. The WEP considered the potential corrosion risks to CSG wells and did not believe that they presented a significant risk. This, in our opinion, is worrying and akin to blind faith in a company that have failing and corroded wellhead equipment. This quote from Charles Arboy of Schlumberger contradicts the WEP Santos. He says, microbiologically influenced corrosion seems to be systemic in the region, Surat, and other operators might encounter similar issues in their CSG wells. This quote was published in an article by Saltel Industries. This article was removed from the internet after it received unwanted attention. Questions were asked at the CCC about this issue and it was shut down with the EPA and Santos refusing to comment. The DPIE final assessment report says 348, the WEP considered the potential corrosion risk to wells, including the potential for acid attack due to carbon dioxide or sulfate reducing bacteria, The WEP does not believe that corrosion presents a significant risk to the project and could be effectively mitigated by using suitable corrosion-resistant casings and cements if necessary. Saltel, who make the product known as expandable patches, which are mechanical well repair patches that isolate external bacterial corrosion, are owned by gas industry well completion specialist Schlumberger. MIC can be incredibly rapid and eat through corrosion-resistant alloys according to Saltel and Durat Thual in understanding corrosion basic principles. There would be no market for this product if the problem did not exist. Ignoring this risk is foolish at best and catastrophic at worst. Limited testing data is available for bacteria here in Narrabri, such as sulfate reducing bacteria. This is a serious omission. This issue has been continually highlighted by community for many years. SRBs have been blamed for causing MIC in oil and gas wells. Santos have provided no clear proof that the resource they are targeting is economically prospective. Keith Spence, Santos chairman, told shareholders at the AGM earlier this year that they had gathered 250 samples 2014 to 2019 that show an average CO2 content of just under 5% in PEL 238. Later, a Santos staff member from Narrabri indicated to DPIE that far fewer commercial in confidence samples exist, and Santos have refused to make these samples publicly available. The Commission must review all the available public data and existing geology reports. Did Keith Spence knowingly mislead shareholders? NWPA believe that it is impossible to know where to drill to hit high percentage production quality methane in PEL 238 due to CO2 migration upwards through faulting. This refutation is backed up by several scientific reports, which I will detail in our submission. NWPA have analysed over 1,000 publicly available pieces of sample data and concluded that the average CO2 content in gas across the Narrabri project is 25 to 30%, with some wells displaying 90% CO2. The high CO2 and nitrogen content is a factor which has the potential to materially increase the greenhouse gas emissions from Narrabri and also the cost of production of the gas. My conclusion is that the logic stream is broken. In the absence of proper vigilance by New South Wales Planning, we are forced to go to extremes to reveal the truth. The truth walks slowly, and this week it is knocking on your door. Narrabri Gas is purely a turnkey political approval that they are seeking that will open the door to spreading gas fields across the northwest. The Commission must let the truth in and reject this project and stop coal seam gas in New South Wales. Thank you.
Joanna, can I just ask you a question? You were talking about the CO2 content of the gas and mentioned that there was a claim that that was commercial in confidence information. Have you ever seen an explanation as to why it's confidential?
No, to be honest. The data has been requested. There is thousands of publicly available well completion reports that have gas composition data that can be accessed, and I can provide those to you.
No, what I was asking was whether you'd seen any explanation that provided a basis for a claim that it was commercial in confidence information.
No, only that phrase, commercial in confidence.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Thank
submission,
you.
Joanna.